Unlocking marital bliss.
I want a woman that is able to work. I want a woman that is able to bring something, together. I desire a woman that is able to bring some money in the home. I desire a woman that is able to bring a car, bring some income so we can be able to pull it together. Yeah, and you're talking about a woman that is able to work. But should women work? Should they have careers? What are they going to do? What is up with women working? And this desire that has come up where men are saying, I want a woman that brings some money in. Can a woman bring money in? Is it possible? What happened? What causes a woman to stay at home and not to bring money in? How can we improve? How can you be a woman that is able to make it the way your husband makes it? Is it even acceptable? That's what we want to find out in this show of Unlocking Marital Bliss in this particular episode. And I have my guest that is going to help me break this down for you. Yes. Can a woman have a career? We want to find out with my guest in the next minute. See you in a while.
Unlocking marital bliss.
Women and working. Should they work or just be lazy and just do what they know how to do? Just be lazy. Okay? Should they just be lazy and just be beautiful? Because when they work, they may not be beautiful. So they just be beautiful and not work. So together with me, would you welcome Bahati Hilda Sabiti? It's a pleasure to have you on my show.
Such an honor to be here.
I know you're always having your shows, but I'm glad to have you on mine.
I'm glad to be here, and the feedback that I get, I must acknowledge the feedback that I got. The show that we did is still rolling out until now. People are still calling.
I'm glad.
Still calling. They are asking questions. You can see they're thirsty. They want to learn, and that's so important.
And I'm glad to have you back because now let them keep calling. Let them keep calling. So, Bahati, look at this very well. You are young. You are beautiful. You're a mother. I mean, do you work?
I do.
You don't even work?
I do 150%. And I just don't do one thing. I put on many hats.
So you believe in a woman working?
I believe in a woman working.
You're not just beautiful because there's a talk and there's a trend today. Just be beautiful and go silent. And that's what women are being told to do.
Who is telling them and who is lying to them?
Who's lying to them?
You want to be beautiful, that means you need things that you need to go on in life. You need to keep up. You need to buy certain things. Unless you say, if you want to be, let me just say this. If you want to be beautiful and just stay the way you are, stay in a cave somewhere. You don't need a house. You don't need a car. You don't need cosmetics. You don't need to do your hair. And you just want to be a natural beauty in a cave somewhere, then my hands are off you. Don't work. Stay in the cave, keep killing rats and eating them. Yes.
Hey, look over here, Hilda. All I'll do is just be beautiful and then step out and the man will look at me.
And then after looking at you.
And they will give me money.
And they will give you money for what? Because they are horny and they want to get into your pants and they will give you for as long as they want. It's an end to something.
So it's an end to something. I think women need to...
So they will keep giving you. You have a machine making money that will keep looking at you.
Yeah, I'm beautiful, so I can get stuff because I'm beautiful.
No.
I'm beautiful. All I want to do
think that angle is a dense angle.
I love the way you bring it out. It's being dense.
I'm very straight with it's being dense because even in God's understanding, that means you are making a fool of God and you are mocking God.
Making a fool of God and mocking.
When he created you and said, let's create man and woman in our own image, he did not create sluggards. He did not create lazy people. He created creators. People that have brains. Otherwise, he would have taken away the brain from a woman and just given it to a man. And then let's just resign and say, a woman was not given a brain, so she cannot think, she cannot create. Let her stay home and let her. Because even giving birth takes a brain.
Even giving birth takes a brain.
It takes a brain. Even maintaining beauty takes a brain.
So having beauty is one thing, maintaining it is another, knowing the purpose of it is another. And you know, there's a word, when you mention that, there's a word in the Bible that says beauty without discretion is like a gold ring in a pig's nose.
Just imagine.
So I look
So
at
discretion
beauty,
takes a brain.
a brain.
You think. You go to work.
So you believe that you have potential, that beauty was not given to me, because some religions say you're just beautiful, that's enough for you. Just be a trophy woman, you're beautiful. Don't think, don't do anything. Just be there and be ready for bed 24/7.
But look at where their women are. The women are utterly slaves.
Utterly slaves.
When you tell them to jump, they will ask how high.
Yeah.
Because what God did by giving us the brain and saying that we should be created in his own image, he said that be fruitful, multiply, and have dominion.
And that was given to both.
That was given to both, not to just one, to both.
Yeah.
Be fruitful, continuously be something, do something, till the land, multiply, have dominion. That means if you want to be a woman in every sense of a woman, have your own rights, know when to say no and when to say yes, and own your life, you have to have dominion. That is dominating over yourself.
Yes.
Saying, I will not go here, you will not say, do this and then I will do it. But why are we told to do certain things and we end up doing them? It's because we actually don't have the means to survive. And we cannot gain anything without working. You're not going to sit and be paid.
Would you believe that culture has actually contributed to this trend whereby girls are raised up? You're telling me that you're wearing many hats. Girls are raised up, and this is what they're told. You're a young princess, you're beautiful, you will get a Prince Charming, he will come your way and will take care of you.
I want to look at that generation because when you look at the baby boomers who were our mothers, they were frustrated because they didn't work. They were kept home, so a man will bring another woman and tell her, get off bed and make the bed for another woman. Now, those are the baby boomers. When they brought us up, I think on the contrary, they drummed it so much into our heads that we have to work and be our own people and have our own places.
Is that what your mother did for you?
For me, that's what she did for me. That's what she did for me.
And that's why you ended up being where you are.
Exactly.
Before you proceed, tell us, because some people are watching and thinking, what's Bahati saying? You're trying to let our women go astray. I got to control my woman. Because most men believe to have a woman is to control one. To be married is to control a woman. Now, Bahati, are you married?
Yes, I am married.
For how long have you been married?
I've been married for 6, known my husband for 24 years.
Now, that's a good one. Known your husband for 24 years, been married for 6 years. That's for another day. Do you have children?
Yes, I have children, 3 of them.
Do you have a girl?
Yes, I have a girl.
So you're training her to rise up and have her own possession.
Yes, I am.
To know that actually she's a special creation from God.
I am not leaving my inheritance to a dense person. If I'm supposed to leave inheritance to my children's children, I must have the capacity to think. She must have the capacity to think and work so that we can pass on that inheritance.
I love that. She must have the capacity to think and work so you can pass on the inheritance. And you work. Do you work?
Yes, I do.
What do you do?
Now, many hats. Here comes.
Come on, start rolling. I'm ready. I'm all ears. And the audience is all ears.
Here comes. My husband and I run Spirit Media Group.
Okay.
Okay, so now that is radio stations and TV stations.
Yes.
We have over 100 plus employees that are working under us. So I am in charge. I am the team leader, the whole team leader of the group.
Of Spirit Media.
Of Spirit Media.
Okay.
So aside from that, we are real estate developers. We have real estate apartments across Kampala and suburbs, and that is another. It's another empire of its own.
Okay.
I have my coaching practice. It's a private coaching practice. I have an institute in there.
Coaching practice. What do you mean by coaching practice? Because our viewers are going to be thinking, what do you coach soccer? Do you coach? I mean,
I coach soccer players.
Okay.
Yeah, I've coached Ugandan teams, like 5 of them. But that's mindset, not the dribbling.
not the dribbling. Okay, I was about to say, okay, tell me more about the dribbling.
I'm a marriage therapist. So in therapy, I have an office where I meet people.
Yeah.
For the intensives and marriage therapy. And then aside from that, I have merchandise line. I have books, I have journals, I have things that I sell. I'm a public speaker, an international public speaker.
Yes.
And I'm an international trainer as well, training with John Maxwell and taking on the continent of Africa. So there's so many things that I do. I have a training institute.
You have an institute?
Yes, an accelerated mentorship institute that trains coaches, trains in personal branding, public speakers, and I have certified over 1,000 people.
And you're a woman?
Yes, I am.
You're female?
Yes.
You know, most
Who
of
is
our
submissive
viewers,
to my husband.
that's where I'm going. How is Mr. Sabiti handling this? Because most of the guys, before we even came on set, are like, you see, when a woman is working, you can't control her. A man set to control you. Is Bahati able to control you?
That's the question he gets the most. How are you able to deal with that woman? And when they say control, he asks them, women are not supposed to be controlled.
Thank you.
Women are supposed to be supported.
Yes.
They're supposed to be loved. They're supposed to be led. If you lead her well, she will submit, and my husband has led me. Like, I don't know how to even describe it.
Mr. Sabiti, kudos, wherever you are.
I don't do anything that he doesn't know.
Yeah.
He knows everywhere I go. Even when it's to book the international flights, he's the one who books them. I travel with him sometimes. Sometimes I don't travel with him. But he will tell me 100%, I trust that you are on this mission and I want to keep lifting you. I don't want even to come to the limelight. I'm the one who is dragging him out and telling him, your wisdom, you must share it with the world because you have mentored me for 24 years. You have mentored me. Who the world is seeing is the work that you have done in the secret place, encouraging me, telling me, go for it, you can do it, you know, I'm behind you, I believe in you. If I tell him something, a project, and he does not believe in it, I kill it.
That's submission.
But if he just gives me a grin and a smile of this has potential, I'm going for it. And I know I have his support and his blessing.
And you have the support of your husband. You are working together, and you are a wife, you are a mother. In other words, you do not believe in a woman sitting back and becoming disruptive. Let me read you this scripture. It's quite amazing. You're going to enjoy this because when you look at it, many people try to ignore it, but the Bible never goes wrong over here. He says, we were not idle when we were with you. Nor did we eat anyone's food without paying for it. On the contrary, we worked night and day, laboring so that we would not be a burden to any of you. So that we will not be a burden to any of you. Now look, we did this not because we do not have the right to search help, but in order to offer ourselves as a model for you to imitate. For even when we were with you, we gave you this rule. The one who is unwilling to work shall not eat. We hear that some among you are idle and disruptive. They are not busy. They are busy bodies.
Disruptive.
Now
Drama.
that's where, thank you. Now that's where, now you know exactly. Disruptive. To disrupt means you interrupt a process. You interrupt something. You interrupt a system, something that is working, and you come in negatively and you disrupt.
Because you're idle.
because you're idle, you're empty. When you're idle, the energy is there, but you're not moving anywhere.
And you're the devil's workshop.
You're the devil's workshop. An idle mind is the devil's workshop because the energy is there, but you're not moving anywhere.
So he keeps wielding insecurity, he keeps wielding jealous, he keeps wielding competition. And before you know it, the words that are coming out of your mouth, because it's the full...
Now you're becoming a busybody.
You're becoming a busybody. You're in everyone's business, poking your nose where it does not belong.
Women, do you hear that? I want you to say it again. Say it again.
I know I'm going to be hated.
No, it's okay. You're on Unlocking Marital Bliss.
Let me tell you, the moment you do not find who you are, your purpose, and the reason as to why you were placed on earth, you become an accident. So you are in everyone's business. Why their marriage is not working, where their children, where their business, so you know everyone's business. How about you mind your business? For just one day, mind your business.
Mind your business for just one day. And our challenge is that most women are being told the only way you can survive in this era is to literally be idle. You know, when a car is idling, because you're a driver, soft girl.
They want soft life.
They want the
Soft life comes after hard work.
Thank you.
No, we are all working towards soft life. I am not
Now somebody's going to look at you and think, wow, she's dressed good, she's smart, she's beautiful. I think the man does it for her in every way. All she does is be beautiful and just sleep.
No way. I work till I'm 9 months pregnant, and the following day I'm going to the hospital.
My wife says pregnancy is not a disease.
It's not a disease. And maybe she's even looking cute while she's pregnant. I look like an elephant when I'm pregnant. I am 130 kilos when I am pregnant. God. I give birth to babies that are 5 kilos. It has always been C-section, ugly. But until 9 months, I'm on that road and I'm still speaking.
I thought you would be saying, I'm pregnant. I need help. I can't do that. You need to wake up these girls in our era. You need to wake up. And
there's a time I took on a challenge. I think I must have been pregnant for my second child. Yeah. I took on a challenge because in my life, I had never agreed to employment. I had told God I want to do my own things. Yeah. You know yourselves. And I know as I speak about this, there are some women that are out there and men who know themselves that since childhood, they're not the kinds who wanted to be told, do this, keep the deadline, make sure this report is on time. So I knew I wanted to be my own boss, even when I came from a very poor family, and maybe I could have taken employment. So this one time, StarTimes approaches me. They have a contract. They want me to be an independent contractor on one of their media houses that was starting. Yeah. And so I look at it and I know for sure I should have been around 2 weeks pregnant. Yeah. And I come from a background of miscarriages. There were 2 terrible miscarriages. I have prayed God for this pregnancy, and now I'm 2 weeks pregnant. StarTimes approaches me, and I'm like, you know what? I'm in. And guess what? The program demands that I'm out of the house at 5 a.m. so that I can be on set by around 6 something. Okay. And I'm driving myself. Okay. I'm on the bypass every day. And like to anyone, they would think, oh, I prayed for this pregnancy and now I don't know what could happen. Let me do this. I was like, you know what? I'm taking it for a challenge because I'm self-employed and I've been self-employed for all my life. I wake up anytime that I want, but even then I will wake up very early in the morning. But I was like, you know what? I need something to challenge me, to keep a schedule so that I need to be vibrant. I need to be alive even while I am pregnant. And I took on that challenge for 2 good years. 2 good years. Were they paying good? Yes, they were paying good. But for me, it was not even about that money. I left it with them. And when I signed out of the job, I told them, give me my money. And I think I had over 100 plus or something money. Beautiful. Yes. So I was not doing it for the money. I was doing it to challenge myself and the brain and the potential and just to work under different entities so that I can immerse the knowledge, how to run the empires, because I know that I have empires that I need to run that are my own, but I need to be able to learn from other people's systems so that I can set up my own. So you see how a person, I would have thought, you know what, I have 3 cars in the compound, I have drivers, I can do I can decide even if I don't work for a year.
Look, women, After you make a little money, or maybe your husband has some money, and then you feel like it's over with me. I mean, this thing is what we want to clean out of the minds of women. That look over here, you have potential. Maybe we as men have been telling you for many years, for ages, for centuries, that look over here, your only role, I think it begins all the way in the Garden of Eden when Adam comes in and he says, hey, you shall be called woman, for you will be the mother of all living things. I tell people, when you study the Word of God, that was not some kind of appreciation. No, it was actually a derogatory moment that Adam used because he believed, you caused me to fall. And there are many men that believe women are the reason I fall. They don't take responsibility that I make wrong decisions, I fail to lead, but it's because of the woman.
The one you gave me.
The one you gave me. You get that? The one you gave me. So now here is the challenge. The one you gave me. And then I say, you shall be called Eve because your purpose. Now I'm defining the woman. I'm literally positioning her for the bed and for kids. Nothing more than that. But originally, God never said that. God said, have dominion. But now I want to bring her lower than me. So I tell her the best you can do is stay at home and be good in bed. Give birth and the kids. That's all I can do. And this is where I believe most women have lost their mind to get to a point where they believe, I can only be good in bed and give birth to children.
I will tell you this, Pastor. A lazy woman, they will be lazy even in bed.
Even in bed.
You can never task your mind to function in bed if in normal life you cannot function. The only way you're going to be creative is if in normal life you're creative.
Oh, I love that. The only way you're going to be creative in bed is if you are creative in your normal life. Yeah.
So how can you task? Because the moment you sit down, then you're thinking, oh, where did this man go? Oh, those thoughts will come. Yeah. And I'm not saying that some women should not stay. There are those who stay at home by choice. They're like, I've given...
That is acceptable.
I've been in the workforce. Let me take off 2 years to take care of the children. And that is something that you agree on. That is different. Laziness.
Laziness that eats the bread of idleness. The Bible says...
You become disruptive.
You become disruptive.
So that where does the disruption comes? And because then when you look at other women and they have good things, and then you ask her, oh, so how much is that, let me say, the cream that you're using or whatever it is, the lotion, and then she's saying, oh, it's 700,000. And then the best you can ask from your husband is 50,000. Yeah, because I've spoken to many couples, even in my presence. I asked the woman, okay, have you ever told your man how much you really use for your lotion? And she was like, no, I usually have to ask for less so that I can top up myself, but sometimes I don't have money to top up for myself. So, and yet I want what other women want. Yeah. So you cannot admire what you can't get to yourself.
And then disruption.
You can't, because a working woman, by the way, when a working woman is even asking for help, they will ask for help differently because they know what it takes to make that money.
Yes.
So I'll be very, very careful. Even when I want Mr. Sabiti to make to give me something, I'll be very considerate. I'll look at all the projects that we have and I will cover all the loopholes. I'll say, are we done with this? Are we done with this? Are we done with this? Okay. Can I be calculated in 2 months' time? Can I get this money for this project that I want to do? And so he was like, okay, so let's tie it into the pipeline so that by July or by August. So do you see, the reason as to why I'm asking that way is I know what it takes to make this money. I know the projects that we want. But there are some lazy women who are like, but me, I want 1 million shillings right now. And then it does not, but this money is too stingy. This money is too stingy. Even how they speak changes, by the way. When you find a lazy woman, even the way she speaks, but this man, you will never find a woman that knows their purpose, that is working, that will start, oh, but this man is too stingy. You will never look at any stingy person.
We'll be back. This whole talk is yours. Women working. And this talk of I'll see you in a minute.
Unlocking marital bliss. Unlocking marital bliss.
We'll be back. You're still watching Unlocking Marital Bliss with me, Cyrus Rod. It's always a pleasure. And to shoot this, to have all of this at this prestigious Fairway Boutique Hotel. Prestigious Fairway Boutique Hotel. You can always come here and you can have a blast. So much is happening even as you watch this. Please, family, get together, come to this place. Your life will not be the same. And I'm glad that I'm hosting Bahati Hilda Sabiti, a wonderful woman married to Mr. Sabiti. Wonderful woman. And before we took a break, we were coming in to begin being able to separate a woman that works and a woman that is idle, indolent, I mean, totally down, you know? And all you think about is, I'm beautiful, so you owe me. Hilda, I'm beautiful. You owe me.
Who owes you?
You, the man. And this whole world, cause the world's got to know I'm beautiful.
That's why 100 men will owe you, because as soon as one is depleted, you will jump out from beneath him and you will get into another person's and you will get into another person, because the whole world owes you.
Man, Hilda, you just...
That's a sense of entitlement, and a sense of entitlement, wrongfully placed entitlement.
Wrongfully placed entitlement. Hey, you never bought me my dress. You never remembered my birthday, Hilda.
Remember it. I mean, buy something.
You need to take me out on my birthday. This is what the girls are doing. You need to take me out on my birthday. You need to buy me a new dress. I'm beautiful.
There's a lady that told the husband that, you know what, if you don't give me 20 millions for my birthday so that I can take my girls out, you don't come with us, but I want to take my girls out to a certain hotel and just have a birthday, you know, splash. And I knew for sure they were before me. I knew for sure that marriage had ended long time ago. They were on the road to just partying. But of course, they were trying to make it, 20 million. And 20 million is not too much money. But again, the way you're asking for this money, the entitlement you have, and you actually don't know where this man is getting it from. He has the farms, his animals are dying, he is in the middle of the heat, like his business is going down. And then you have the entitlement to give ultimatums of, I want 20 millions. So when she wants 20 millions, because I had the voice, I was like, oh, what? Oh, we are done. I was like, then I don't think this marriage has a chance. I was like, I don't
20 million or we are done.
A chance.
And so it's, a woman is told, you're going to be given, which is proper, no problem. But then entitlement, that's the word you brought out.
That's the bad thing.
Entitlement.
I love to be given.
Yes.
I love to be given. Even when I have my own, I love to be given.
Because God created it that way. There's something about it.
Do you know, he will give cheerfully. He will be happy.
He will enjoy
He will be, some of the things I'll even say no. For my birthday this year, he wanted to buy a Wrangler. And I was like, you know what? We have A, B, C, and D projects that we have to finish. Let's finish those projects. Yes. We can always buy the car sometime. We can always, and it baffles him.
I've been there. I'm walking that path. And all my wife does is, hey, no, I don't need that. I don't need that. You just feel like you want to give. You know, you want to give because she has proved herself. She's not lazy.
She's not after that.
She's not coming up with self-entitlement. She's not coming up with all this mess. So you really feel you want to empty yourself towards her. You want to pour yourself towards her. And now when you mention, that's something very profound. over here in our society, most women, look at all the girls, the so-called celebrities. Most of them, what they teach is entitlement. You're a woman.
But that's why they go from relationship to a relationship. Yeah, someone has to manage my apartment, my nails have to be painted, my hair has to be done, and no man is willing to take on the whole, because lest you become a burden. You read it yourself.
Lest you become a burden. So when I see a girl that appears to be entitled, that's got to be a burden.
It is. It is.
It's a burden.
Because they will never want to understand what's happening in your life. Because if, as women, we're supposed to be the supporters, if we're supposed to be the nurturers, we have to know what's happening. Actually, we must be able to even take away your stress and say, you know what, pull yourself out of those projects. Let's put them down on the table. What's happening here? What's causing you the stress here? What can I do that can lessen the stress here? Who can we call to help? So before you know it, there's a clearer picture. You're supposed to be a helper. And a helper is supposed to be strong.
Yes.
You cannot help while you are weak.
And
your mind has to be sharp and intelligent. I tell my husband so many times, and after he was like, you know what, I need to go with you to those meetings, either partners or something like that, because I will look at someone, even if I'm not seated on the table, I will look at someone from afar and I will know this is a bad deal. And when he comes to ask me, I will not say so many words. And I was like, that deal, I don't think is going to go the way you want it to go.
Yeah.
And because maybe he wants it, he'll be like, you know what, let's see how it goes. And then when it all crashes, then he's like, you were right. So now he knows I'm a good reader of character and I'm discerning.
And thank God you are there to support.
Yeah, so that means I am building his empire. We are building our empire.
You're building the name of Sabiti. The legacy. And it will continue.
He told me that, you know what, we are just two boys and we are miraculous boys in our family. That means we are the only ones that are supposed to carry on this legacy.
Yes. This is just so humbling. I would like you to respond to this question. We men come. Do you believe we should? I mean, we come to you and I say, hi, you're beautiful, you're young, can I take you out? Look over here, you shouldn't worry. I'm loaded. I got what it takes. I'll take care of you. Don't you think we are actually being part of this breeding of lazy women? Because I come and I say, I'll take care of you. So when you get home, this is what I do. I say, you don't need to work. You don't need to work. I'm going to cover you. Does that mean I love you?
No, it's not love. But again, for me, I wouldn't take all the blame and place it on the men. Because while he's doing that, maybe in his brain, he wants to please the woman. Okay, some of them want to please the woman. There are men that are really too good and too nice, and they just don't know how to be confident and be able to lead well. So they lead with pleasing, which is actually a very wrong model of leading. Now, I, however, say a woman has more power than she knows. Because she's the one who says yes or says no. If a man ever came to me and told me that, and I know many of them came, because yesterday we were at a dinner table with a friend of ours from Malawi, and my husband was like, you know what, I was a contender in Hilda's life, but I was one who conceded. I said, you know what, I am defeated. I think there are men who are better than me. And yet, I would not even give them a time of my day, not even a minute of my day. Some of them hate me up to date. They told me you're the yardstick of womanhood, and if I don't get you, I will never get any other man. But for me, for a man to come to me, remember I come from a very poor background where poor people called us poor. Being housed by a witch doctor, sleeping in someone's store, like literally surviving, sleeping with goats and hens in the same house. I would have said, I want to take a quick way out and have a rich man.
Let me interject you. You're coming from a poor background. A lot of people are looking at you right now, watching you and thinking, she's lying.
She has it on a silver platter.
She has it on a silver platter. I mean, and you say you literally slept without food. You hardly could pay your rent. You hardly could survive. I mean, the easiest way, and many girls have been raised up like that, and then they simply turn to the easy way of I offer my body in exchange for what I never got, because that's to the highest bidder, because that's the quickest way to make money. Did you really come from a poor background? Because our viewers are thinking, Hilda, please don't do a show.
A poor background and a broken background. Now, those are two different things, and not just a poor background, but a poor background filled with witchcraft and with a broken family.
And that's where you came from.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you came from that poor background, filled with witchcraft. What really influenced you, or who did you listen to begin believing Hilda is a great woman?
My mother was my greatest influence. I remember the words that she used to speak. Hilda, I can't go with you everywhere. I can't put you in my pockets and go, but you have your own back and you take care of your siblings. So from a very young age, I knew I was not just responsible for myself, but I was responsible for how my siblings will turn out. Yes. So that means if I didn't succeed, I was burying all of us.
Yes.
So what she showed me most was God. So my triangle was church, school, home. And I never let my siblings deviate from that.
Yeah.
So even when I came to the crossroads and I had nothing to do, the best thing that I decided was, let me just go into business. So I go into business and later I say, you know what? I think if I don't finish school, my siblings will think it's okay not to finish school. So I signed back to campus. While I'm studying with 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds at Chambogo, I was 29-year-old and 30-year-old. Now I have come back because maybe now I can afford to be able to go back to campus. So you realize for me, it has been one good choice after another good choice. I believe my steps have been led by God. But again, it doesn't mean that I didn't have all these things. People who used to come to my home, they would even give my mother cheats to come. Pastors, they would even give her cheats, and I would tell them before her. I told her, I will never get married until I have an apartment of my own, I have a car of my own, until I'm my own woman, and I'm not accepting just for the sake of accepting. But I'm accepting because I want to be part of the union and contribute to that union.
I really do appreciate your testimony because it's inspiring a lot of young ladies over there and even many ladies over there. You've mentioned that you were able to make your decision and then you stood by it. Number one, you're focused on God because that's who your mother showed you. You could not make it without God. And any woman watching out there, you cannot make it without God. So God becomes your priority. Now, when you follow God, you want to please God. In doing so, you avoid making the wrong decisions because you want to please God. And in doing so, your own destiny is being unfolded. Your own destiny is being unfolded. Slow but beautifully. Being unfolded, because there are many of your peers, age mates, that went ahead of you and thought you were ridiculous. How could you give up on man who have the money, but you became what God called you to be? My question comes in again. You have come this far. God has given you the grace. You've developed as a great woman. What do you say? Because as a man, I may not be confident. I don't even know who I am. But the reason I offer you everything is so that I don't offer you everything because I am supposed to be a man and I'm offering to you. When Christ loved us, he offered everything. He didn't offer everything so he could control us. He offered everything because that's what love does. Okay? In other words, so we could become something. He offered everything so we could become something. But there are many men, after I make money, I offer everything so that I may become something. So I control you by giving you everything. If I give you a phone and buy you a house, do everything, then you shouldn't ask any other thing. You never come to me and talk with me. I've given you everything. This is what I call, what more do you want? And your mothers generally are telling the young ladies, as long as he has given you a place to stay, and the children, what do you want? What do you want? Thank you, Hilda. You're being ungrateful. What do you want?
But this is what I will say. There are certain things that a man can give you, and there are certain things that a man can never give you. Okay. Because they are not at his disposal.
Yes.
A man can never give me the satisfaction and the fulfillment that God would give me, and the contribution that only God disposed inside of me. I'm writing about a dream life, and you realize that dreams are deposited inside of us by God. We do not make up dreams, but we create the goals.
Yes.
Now, if God deposited the dreams, do you know that you know right now that you are not yet in your dream life, but you are on the path to your dream life? Even when you achieve a certain milestone, you feel like this is not it. Yeah. There is a bigger thing. I don't know what it is. I don't have a clear picture, but there is a dream. There is a satisfaction that you are looking for, and you will never stop moving until you get to it. Yes. Now, we do not work just for money.
Thank you.
We go to workplaces for networking, to revive our brain work, to contribute something to our nation, to humanity, to practice our purpose. And all our satisfaction, God wrapped it in one thing called contribution.
Yes.
So now you will tell me that yes, you are contributing in your home. But that is why, even when you have all the money, I've had people come to me and they have cars, they have lavish cars, they live in very good apartments, and they're saying, but I'm a prison. And all she wants is to sneak out. To sneak out. And the man is saying, you're ungrateful. I've given you everything. Look at your fellow women. And a woman will tell me, I would rather be on the street, in the cold, in the dustbin, without being in such a house.
Hilda, I totally believe you. I totally agree with you. And that is a problem we're having even in our own nation. Thank you that being a therapist, a counselor, in what you do, you face such situations. A woman has everything, in quotes. But one thing is, they've never really been what God called them.
They've never been happy.
They're not happy because there's no satisfaction. There's no fulfillment. After sleeping with a man for a couple of months, then they realize there's something more. This whole thing isn't it. There's something more. Yes, I've slept with you. Yes, you've given me all this. And then one time I met a lady and she talked to me. She was in tears. She came with shades. I'm talking about some of these ladies' private number plates. I mean, the whole nation looks at them and goes, wow. But somebody said, you need to talk to so-and-so. She came with shades. I mean, Mercedes, got everything. And then she pulled off the shades and looked at me. I said, she had a black eye. I said, what's the problem? Married to a very wealthy man around the city. What's the problem? And she said, he beat me up so bad. I said, what was the cause? He has no right to beat you, but what was the cause? Say, you see, he has given me everything. Everything. He has given me everything. I said, I can see. Anything I want, he will give me. But this is what happened. I came back from the supermarket and I entered the house straight to my bedroom, only to find him with a university girl on our bed. And he yelled at me, shut the door. I pulled back, shut the door, sat in the living room and just cried, but I had to behave.
I had to behave.
I had to behave.
You're on a leash.
And from there, when the man was done, had a shower with the university girl, the girl was escorted out. She went. He came back and said, you never dash into my house like that. Started beating her up. Hilda, isn't this because men think I'm supposed to manage the woman, control the woman? And they think that means love. And then women, allow me, I'm saying you women, but you know what I mean. It's, you're not among them. Women believe the man is supposed to do everything for me. And this is where what happens when a man passes away, God forbid. She's totally tortured and lost and doesn't know what to do, doesn't know anything, because the man is supposed to do everything for me. What do you tell these young ladies? Many of them have actually given up because they have literally resigned themselves to this kind of living. You're supposed to do everything. You're supposed to control me. You're supposed to.
Every woman that is doing that, just like I said, God created woman with a level of intelligence.
Yes.
And I would not want to put it that it's higher than that of a man, but I think there are levels of intelligence when it comes to discernment that a woman is very, very, they will know it. They will just kill it. They will know that I'm doing a wrong thing now. For a woman, she was called to be a helper. That means she has everything that it takes. She has signals. Actually, it's the signals that are, we read a lot of signals and we can read multiple signals at the same time. Where a man will be able to read one, a woman will read 10 signals, and she will be able to decode all of them and be able to make meaning out of them. Now, a woman that has resigned her place of contribution, of nurturing, of help, is a woman that has just chosen the quick way out.
Hilda, you're saying it's the easy way out. But the moment I raise up my voice,
easy in that moment where you're making that decision, but very hurtful in the long run.
In the long run.
If a man ever says, I'm going to give you everything, run.
No problem.
Run. Yes.
For your dear life.
I mean, I had those offers, but if you came to me and you were dangling car keys and you were dangling a house, there's so many people that showed me that, but I would not even give you, not even a single date, because I would know there's something wrong with you. I know you're a manipulator, and I know that what you want is to rob me of my destiny. So if I want to be a free woman with a free will, I would rather go with someone that doesn't have anything. With Mr. Sabiti, we shared one border. He would tell me, I only have 3,000 in my pocket. So if we take a border, we are doomed. So let's walk. And then let's go I'm not letting you go home without anything. Let's go and at least have muchomo, one stick.
Yes.
At Tivoli Gardens in Mokono. And he'll be like, take 3 pieces of the meat, I will take 2 pieces of the meat. If you were supposed to buy cassava and it was 500 that he had, he'll be like, let's buy cassava, eat half, I will eat half, and he will give me the biggest half because he knew I was coming from a poor background, and he will escort me up to where I was supposed to go, and sometimes I will escort him back. It was foolish love.
That is, no, I wouldn't call it foolish. That is the genuine love.
The genuine love.
Where you're able to share the little. You're not, because most of us, men, when I come for you, what do? Hey, I believe there's this preconceived idea women want money. So I come to show you money, but I never love you. I know. I show you money, but I never love you.
And that's why we need to be wise like serpents, because did people offer me that? Even when they came to my mother's home, they would come into the front door, I will get out of the back door, and I will go to church hungry to go and compose music for the choir practice and wait to serve God. And sometimes I think God seared my mind towards some of these things, because even when Tim came and, we're going through all that, our first car, we literally kept money. You know how you would keep money and save money under the pillow, and he's sending for the car and you're excited, it was an Ipsum, and you're thinking, wow, this is it. You get it? But the joy that comes with knows that I have contributed to this fruition. I am part of this manifestation. And I mean, sometimes he looks at me, and after a very long silence while we are driving, he's like, I don't know where I would be without you. And I tell him the same. I'm like, I don't know where I would have been without you. That means we feel like we God brought a perfect match. We fit
Yes.
into each other's life.
Yes.
We have walked this journey with humility, with perseverance, with diligence. And now when we say, look what the Lord has done, we mean it with our hearts. And that means he will never in his life minimize me or think less of me.
Because-
If anything, he literally thinks very highly of me, even above himself. Why? Because I have been there at zero. I have been there every step of the way.
You've grown together.
We have grown together.
You've built
We
this
have
together.
worked together. We have built this together. And now, when you see that there is loyalty, there is friendship, there is respect, as those are not pillars that are built in a week or 2 weeks.
I know, with our time running out, I just share it with you. It feels like we just started. But look at this. As Sabiti, Timothy has been there. He stood his ground. He thought he wasn't even a contender. Yet he wasn't, because in actual sense, he was the real prize. He was the real man. And God enabled you go through all that. I would like you to take a moment and look into that camera and speak to the women that feel my whole life is built around a man. I am nothing without a man. God punished me by making me female. So if I had been a man, I would be something, but he gave all the wisdom to man. I want you to encourage them in a minute.
The biggest gift that God could ever give to you as a woman is womanhood. I mean, to cherish it, to work it, to be very proud of it. One thing I know that is that as women, we are gifted, like super gifted, that you can do things you don't need to walk out of your home to even do. In this age and era has made things simple. You can even do online businesses. I coach people all the time to do online businesses. People are becoming coaches. They're becoming public speakers. You have a story that you can share with another human being. So it's not about the hard work and competing with the men. Actually, we are not supposed to compete with the men. We are supposed to have the feminine energy. We're supposed to bring our contribution, because that is the best gift that we can bring to this world. Let the men be masculine. Let them be the fighters and the hustlers, and let them bring their contribution. And then it becomes a balanced world, a harmonious world. But one thing that I will leave with you, if you don't find your purpose, the real reason as to why you were placed on earth, your children are not going to, the Bible says that your man will be praised because of you. At the gates, they will speak highly because of you. That means that a woman, and even it talks about the children, that a stupid child, a foolish child, brings shame to their mother. So that means that there is a lot more work and a lot more contribution, but put your brain to work. Put your brain to work. Whatever you find to do, do it with all your strength. Okay? If it's to support that man, if it's to build an empire with him, if it's to go out and also contribute to this family, if whatever it is, make sure that you do it with all your life. And let me tell you, you're going to get a satisfaction. You know, when you sleep knowing that I have done A, B, C, and D, I have made my contribution, and so I can let God do his part, you are a happy woman. So I just need you to get back to your place of being feminine. Do not compete with anyone. I know of women that have masculine energy. They're out there cussing people, competing, fighting. That is not our place. You are supposed to go into that boardroom, in whether it's a suit, whether it's a dress, but you are supposed to speak with dignity. You're supposed to speak politely, with respect. You're supposed to bring your contribution. Let your brain speak for itself. Think, put it to use. Sometimes we don't want to think. Put it to use. You have it for a reason, to make this world a better place, and to make this world for a better place, not just for you, for your children. And the Bible says that a blessing goes to the 4th generation. So that means you have the key to that blessing. As a woman, you cannot just let the man do this on their own. You hold that key. So plant the blessings, dig the channels of the blessings. And let me tell you, your house will be very proud of you. Very proud of you.
Thank you so much. Your house will be very proud of you. I love it. You've had it from Hilda, and it's been such a pleasure to host you, and always a pleasure, and we'll always bring you back. So before we go out, your number.
Oh, it's a 0757 117 117. 0757 117 117.
You had it, 0757 117 117. That's Hilda Bahati for coaching and all that. You can call her number. And hey, You've had it from her. We've talked about this, and I want to encourage you, young ladies and young girls, please use your brain to think. The body doesn't think, the brain thinks. So don't use your body to think, use your brain to think. Marriage is easy, ignorance is hard. See you next time.
Unlocking marital bliss.